Hey everyone, Nikolaj Ehlers trade. Oh, it's coming. Winnipeg Jets fans, you could see a big trade from Shovel Day off again. Ehlers on the block. We saw the big Dubois trade. Ehlers hasn't been an issue in my eyes. He's put up some good numbers, but I think with 1 year left after this year and the fact that the Jets are going to lose some guys to UFA status, I mean, they could be looking for a big return for Ehlers or maybe just a big roster player back. So according to The Athletic, the Ottawa Senators, Pittsburgh Penguins, Buffalo Sabres, Red Wings, Hurricanes, and Utah are among the teams that could be a fit for Ehlers. Well, let's throw a blockbuster trade with the Hurricanes and get freaking hot with it. So I've been throwing the hot takes around there. Hurricanes losing to the Rangers in the second round, and it feels like it's over and over. Like all the jokes with the Leafs losing in the first round, Hurricanes, a lot of losses like in kind of that middle range of the playoffs, second round, right? So blockbuster. Seth Jarvis, his hometown team, Winnipeg Jets. I think there's a scenario. This one's a little too big for me, but I was just kind of putting the guys next to each other that could be in this deal. Imagine Jarvis and Natchez as the main pieces going to Winnipeg, and Ehlers and Perfetti as the main pieces going to Carolina. I think that could work. I think that fits well for both teams. Jarvis, hometown team in Winnipeg, Natchez there. I think Ehlers is an upgrade potentially if you sign him long term and at the style of the Hurricanes with Aho, and then you get Perfetti and maybe even Hanola as well. Maybe you have to throw in a draft pick if you're Winnipeg as well, because maybe they're really high on Jarvis. But I think if you're Winnipeg, you try to utilize this. You try to if you could trade Ehlers to Carolina, try to get Seth Jarvis back in that deal. So that's my vibe. I mean, there's so many articles about it. So I think I talked about it. I think Ehlers or Connor would get traded this offseason, and I think Winnipeg obviously wants to keep Connor with 2 years left. So Ehlers could be traded for a top four defenseman, or it could just be traded for a different fit in the forward group. The rumor that was kind of going around too is when the Buffalo Sabres, maybe they move one of their defensemen. Like they signed Matthias Samuelsson to that long-term deal. Now they have left shot defensemen left and right. The other one was this one right here is Jacob Chychrun. And I believe that was, talked about right here in this article from Steve. Would a Chychrun for Ehlers deal make sense? So it's possible. I think it actually makes sense for both teams. I think Ottawa could really benefit from Ehlers, and then maybe they're more willing to trade another forward for a right shot defenseman. I think the Ottawa could do some maneuvering here, right? You trade Chychrun, get Ehlers. Is Chychrun willing to wait for Winnipeg, though? That's the question mark. So that's why I'm kind of like scrapping this one a little bit, because to me, the Carolina one makes more sense, and it's more realistic. Like the Utah one, I guess Lawson Krause, maybe he'd be willing to go to Winnipeg over Utah. But, I mean, Ehlers to Carolina, Seth Jarvis to his hometown team. Natchez doesn't have restrictions. He's an RFA. Like, he's a restricted free agent, but not restricted for trade. So I think that makes a lot of sense. So give me your thoughts, guys. Nikolaj Ehlers, could he be traded? I think it's possible. And what other moves could we see with some of these teams I mentioned? Winnipeg, Carolina, Ottawa. Go down the list. Talk soon on the next video or stream. Peace.